Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I found an even cooler flight tracker that in one click you can filter out all of the passenger aircraft and just display the military aircraft in the airspace. Also, this flight tracker, even though it's not as beautiful as Flight Tracker 24, it actually displays every aircraft in the airspace, where I find Flight Tracker 24 seems to miss a couple of aircraft, as I'll show you a little bit later on in the video. Also, another awesome advantage that this flight tracker has over Flight Tracker 24 is you don't have to sit there and refresh the page every 15 minutes if you don't have a subscription. It'll just automatically refresh, and you can just watch the planes move across your screen if you want to have it in the background. Now let me show you exactly how you can filter out all these passenger aircraft and just display the military aircraft in the airspace. What you're going to want to do is go up to this U button, click it, and just like that, all of the passenger aircraft are no longer displayed, and you can just see the military aircraft in the airspace that you're looking at. Now, I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but I find it pretty amazing that so many military aircraft still have their transponders active. Now, I understand the main reason is because they're flying typically in highly contested airspace with hundreds of other passenger aircraft, as you saw before, and the last thing they want is an accident. But it's just so amazing you can actually go in real time and actually see where all of these military aircraft are and what they're up to. And like, just look at that. You can see exactly where that early warning command and control aircraft is. You can see exactly where the Strato tanker is. You can see exactly where the Global Master C-17 is. And you can see their exact flight paths, where they took off from. And you can even see exactly what country they're owned by and what military they report to in terms of what branch. And honestly, over probably about the past week, I've been tracking a lot of these aircraft that are flying in the Eastern European, Ukraine, Russian airspace. And it's pretty amazing that you're actually able to see where all of these aircraft are in pretty much near real time. And one pretty cool thing I found while I was filming this is there's actually a B-52 taking off literally right now from Oxford, England. And it looks like it's either headed back to the United States or it's going to be heading out to sea or up to the Arctic to basically fly some deterrence missions, possibly. And I still can't get over how easily accessible all this information is, and you can literally just track all of the movements of these military aircraft and exactly where they're going and what they're doing. And this right here is where I want to essentially highlight how this flight tracker really detects all of the aircraft in the airspace, where Flight Tracker 24, even though the interface is very nice looking, does seem to miss some aircraft here and there. So for instance, as you just saw, that E3TF was in the airspace right around Warsaw. However, you'll notice as soon as I apply that ICAO filter, that plane does not show up in Flight Tracker 24. However, if you go back to ADS-B Exchange Flight Tracker, it does show up, and I find that flight tracker is just way more accurate in terms of actually displaying every aircraft that's in the airspace. And honestly, right now, I don't even think many of us can even imagine or picture what the Ukrainian people are going through right now. Because just put yourself in their shoes. All right, you're being invaded by Russia unprovoked. You had a Budapest memorandum signed back in 1994 where you essentially gave up all of your nuclear weapons, and you had an agreement that Russia would respect your sovereignty because you gave up your nuclear weapons. And Russia has essentially turned around and just spit in your face. And this isn't the first time they've done it. They invaded you back in 2014, took over Crimea, and now they've invaded you for a second time. And the world has essentially, for the second time, just sat by and said, well, you're on your own, Ukraine, and we're just going to impose some sanctions. But militarily, you're pretty much on your own. So good luck. And I understand that right now we're in a very tough situation where we're trying not to start World War III, but also at the same time, you and I both know that economic sanctions are really not going to stop an army dead in its tracks a couple days into its invasion magically. And I most certainly do think that these economic sanctions will have a long-term impact on Russia, but it won't be anything that we necessarily see immediately, even if we were to remove them from SWIFT or if we freeze their central bank's assets. They still will most likely be able to wage this invasion for a couple weeks, if not a couple months, before they see any serious impacts from that. And my thoughts really go out to the Ukrainian people, and I'm really rooting for them. And from what I've seen on Twitter, TikTok, the live UA map, it looks like Ukraine's honestly putting up a hell of a fight. And I hope they're able to stick in this long enough to at least be able to come to some sort of peaceful agreement with Russia, or until NATO or the United States or someone like that ends up stepping in. But I really hope if we do end up stepping into this conflict, we don't step in too late where Kiev, the capital, has already been taken, or where Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has already been taken out, or his main political party has already been taken out. Because we already know Russia's plan is essentially going to be to insert essentially a puppet government that's very pro-Russia and will bring Ukraine back under the communist umbrella. And guys, if you made it this far, thanks for staying all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys found this helpful. And any questions or comments you guys have got, drop them down below. I'll try to get back to everybody that I can. And because you stayed all the way till the end, I've actually got a cool little Easter egg I found while I was editing this video. Looks like right now there's 2 B-52s in the air from Oxford, UK to somewhere off the coast of Portugal. But that's all I've got for you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.